All right, so we are ready to go ahead and put on the legs. So the process, what it's going to be is over here where the vise is, I'm going to go ahead and install this leg first, because what I'm going to do once I finish installing this one is I'm going to take the measurements and make sure that this side matches up perfectly on where the grinder is going to be. And yeah, it should be pretty easy. I'm going to be using, I believe it's 3/8 lag bolts. It's been a while since I picked these up, so I forget what size they were. Lag screws, quarter inch by 1.5 inches. I'm going to be using those in the legs, and then of course on the other leg I'll have the bolt going all the way through, connecting the vise. But this should be pretty easy. Yeah. For those if you ever get a chance to go to Peru, this is chicha amarrada, and it's delicious. I went and did a tour up at Cusco, and they were showing us a tour in one of the churches that they built during the when the conquistadors were taking over. And 500 years ago, there was the painting made 500 years ago, and it had them drinking chicha. Showed them drinking chicha. So it's pretty much just purple corn boiled. I think a little bit, definitely some sugar and a little bit of, I believe, cinnamon. And there's also another version that's fermented, but it's delicious. All right, let's go. So, big thing here is making sure that the bolt goes through, and I'm gonna go ahead and play with the leg. So it looks like I'm good on this end, good on that end. I'm gonna grab my T-square. Verify square. We are squared. So I am going to go ahead and drill some pilot holes, and then we'll go ahead and lag these guys down. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a total of 10 on each leg. All right, let's send it.
The feelings going through. It's always you. 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 Keep falling for you. Why do I keep feeling this pain? It's like I'm going for insane. It's nothing left to say.
Now you noticed on the other leg that I chose to use hand tools, and that was just to give me what I feel is more control over installing the bolts. That was my preference. You can absolutely use power tools, but on that side I am slightly off on one end. I am 4 inches and 1/5 or 2/10, and on the other side I'm 4 inches and 3/10. So I am shooting to get her squared up right around 4.2 or 4 and 2/10. Okay, 4 and 1/5, and close enough. It'll probably be a little off anyways after the drills are, but let's go ahead and go into time lapse, pilot holes, and then lag bolts. Here we go.
Away from me, away from me. It's always you. It's always you. It's always you.
can declare victory. And the fact that she is definitely a little off, we'll have to see if we can fix that somehow. I need to put up a temporary cross member, so I need to cut this down to size, and I'm just going to put it along the back. The intent is to do a secondary shelf beneath the bench that it mimics this, so that I can go ahead and not have to worry about putting a center structure that it'll be strong enough to hold just about anything that I put on there. But let's go ahead and measure, cut, and install them. Let's do it. Alright, so we are at the last step. Hopefully everything that all the preparation I did will mean that putting on the vise and the grinder will be pretty easy. There's been some challenges. The table's not easy. Good thing is right now it's kind of leaning this way, and then when I put the vise and the grinder on the weight down, I don't think it's going to want to tend to lean that way much at all. But one of the things that I realized is that it's shorter on this end than it is on this end width-wise, and that's the problem when you don't use truly squared wood. I think next time what I'm going to do is I may even try to do some try to use my planer to maybe kind of do some joining on the wood to get it all truly squared up. But I should be able to do that with a little bit of tweaking of the planer. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that one goes a little bit better. But hey, time to sand the last bit. So unfortunately, the lag bolt going through the bench leg was just a smidget too short. So thank goodness I picked up a extra long one, and I'll go ahead and cut it down to size. But this just take a little bit more time. All right, here we go. I'm thinking that it might be just long enough, because what I had to do is take off the lock washers to make these one fall in size. So maybe with all the above, it might be the right size. I'm gonna do a test fit. All right, so I'm not seeing the part that I want to go ahead and cut the end of this. So we're gonna go ahead and install the grinder so that I could use the tool on the grinder to go ahead and finish up this final bolt. So hopefully there's not many more setbacks. All right, let's send it. And of course it wouldn't be that easy. The hole's just a little bit off, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to drill it open a little bit more and go ahead and fit the bolt. So I'm gonna have to use my grinder attachment on my angle grinder here. And then once I cut that down to size, I'm gonna go ahead and then round off the end here on the grinder, and I should be able to finally be done with the bench. I'm pretty excited, but man, it's one thing after another. All right, everyone, so I am done with this stage. I have a workable bench. I'm not fully complete though. And yes, I have my vise. Yes, I have my grinder. However, I still want to run power down to that leg and to that leg. And as I mentioned earlier, I want to go ahead and do a similar shelf to the top board. And I need to figure out how to go ahead and level that out. I'm gonna play with that. And when I do that, I'm also going to look for some casters that I can basically engage, put them on the wheels, move the bench around, and then disengage. So that's also going to be, you know, some of the thought process I need to work through, so I can have either a full extension on the electrical that I'm putting here, or a way to easily disconnect that too, and just connect into the side. So I'm still going to work through that, and we'll figure it out. However, I can now move on to other projects. And I'm pretty excited that I'm now going to be able to use this bench for work instead of, as you've seen me, working outside, working in the living room and everything else. But that is done. Now it's time to go ahead and put this thing to use. All right. Thank you for watching.